Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rusty 78609 in Central Texas, USA, just leaving Walmart, where I got me a wine glass. But that's not what I'm going to talk about. This video is going to be so great that it will be viral just by the description. And the description will be something like the Casita Freedom Deluxe air conditioner combo heater, and how does it work? How good is it? Well, we'll talk about that. Some of you may know that the Casita 17-foot Freedom Deluxe comes with a roof AC that also has a heat strip in it to heat with. I'm trying to watch these people and do the video. Anyway, and how does it work for cooling? Well, for cooling, I think the hottest I've been in would be in the mid 90s, and the AC cools great. I mean, cooling is not the problem. When you're out or whenever you're out in the open and you're plugged into electricity and run the roof AC, outside, it's not that bad. You can hear it, but it's okay. I mean, it's like any other roof AC. They're just the way they are. Inside the RV, the fan that moves the air, it's not ducted air. It just has a place there where the air blows out, and you can regulate the airflow on each end of the air conditioning unit. There's a little lever you can push or pull to close off the air to the rear or the front, or balance them any way you want to, because if you leave the vent open all the way blowing over the bed, sometimes it can be a little cool, and so you can regulate that. But anyway, now to the heating. I thought it was a heat pump. Well, a heat pump air conditioner, the compressor has to run. Well, on the Freedom Deluxe, it must have, and I'm sure it does have, only a heat strip, because when it's heating, the compressor is not running. So that means that it's just a heat strip, which is probably the least efficient way to heat. However, if you're in an RV park and you're paying $40 a night, you might as well use their electricity rather than your propane. Even though I don't have a furnace, I did not get a furnace, and the reason was, in Central Texas where I live, it rarely gets cold enough to run a furnace. And I've got a small electric heater called a Pelonis, P-E-L-O-N-I-S, that has 3 heat settings, and it has done me quite well for the past several years, and it's still running. It's kind of like a Timex. It just keeps on ticking. But the heat strip in the air conditioner on the 17-foot Freedom Deluxe works very well for me. On low heat, it'll heat that unit. Right now today, well, it's in the upper 40s, and yeah, it's fine. I mean, but I'm not running it anyway. I just run that little Pelonis heater because I can run it cheaper. And since I'm at my home base where I got to pay for the electricity, I can use that little electric heater, and it's only it's got a 400 watt setting, 600 watt setting, and then I think it goes to 800 watts. And what I did was I've got a little meter out on my telephone post, that my electric meter, and it's got that little thing that goes round and round and round and round and round, and I was trying to determine how many watts that heat strip was using in the RV, on the Casita. Anyway, so what I did was I turned the heat strip on and had it heating, and went out and watched the meter, the thing turn, and kind of made a count as to how many revolutions it made in 10 seconds. Then I went in and turned that off and turned the little Pelonis heater on the low setting, which is approximately 400 watts, and went out and checked the meter again. And what I found was the heat strip is using more than 400 watts. So then I put the Pelonis heater on the second setting, which uses about 600 to 700 watts. Went out and did my little calculation again, and what I came to the conclusion is that the heat strip in the air conditioning unit on the Freedom Deluxe uses approximately 700 watts, 600 to 700 watts when it's heating. So, is that good to know? I guess. At least you know. Yeah, because I don't have anything to do, and I'll sit there and piddle with stuff just to see what it does, you know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, the heater works great, so I don't need a furnace. Why burn propane? Now, of course, you can use propane when you're boondocking and your 12-volt fan, and so that's one reason. For me, when I'm boondocking, how will I heat? I will probably just freeze to death, okay, because I'm not going to go boondocking in the wintertime. That ain't my thing, okay? No, if we go boondocking, it'll be in the spring where the low temperatures are around 50, and you don't need, or I don't need any heat for that. And I could get, a Mr. Buddy or whatever, but those things, they are what they are. I'm not too sure they're all that safe. And they don't have a good thermostat. I've heard people say they're too hot, or they just they'll cook you. And they use a lot of propane, and some of them use those little bottles, and then you can figure out a way to hook it up to your propane tank and all that stuff. So heating for me is a non-issue because I'm just not going to go where it's cold. How about that? But the wind's blowing out of the north here in central Texas right now. It is 48 top-up degrees and breezy from the north, and it's going to be, we're going to get down into the 30s on Monday and Tuesday next week for lows, and highs will be in the 40s. So we're kind of getting this is about winter here in Texas. That's it. We don't get much more than that. Occasionally we'll get a little bit cooler, but not often. So what does that have to do with the Casita heat strip thing? Nothing. So why am I talking about it? Because I'm trying to figure out how to get over in this left lane, because I got to turn and there's a car right beside me and there's a truck that wants to pass. So I have to make all these calculations immediately. But it's amazing how the human brain can do that. Isn't that something? So anyway, this ain't the best place to turn left, I have to tell you, because this is Highway 281, and it's a little racetrack. Actually, it's a big racetrack. Now, once we get over here on this road right here, Park Road 4, you can go to sleep. Not much happening here, guys. This is just a little old country road, and we'll continue. So for those of you that just tuned in to find out about the Casita heater, you can tune out, because that's all of that. It works fine. It's the heater works. So for me, I don't need a furnace. Now, of course, if I went boondocking or somewhere with no electrical hookups, and it was cold, which I'm not going to do, but if I did, how would I heat the Casita? Well, I would have to look at the options first. I mean, I guess I'd have to look at a Mr. Buddy or some of those type of things that just use those little propane, butane bottles, or whatever they're called. So, we'll see how it works. But anyway, that's what I'd have to do. But I don't like those, man. Those things can be a little dangerous here. You don't want to go to sleep and not wake up. You understand? So I would I just wouldn't do it. That's all. And not only that, using propane heat really causes a lot of condensation inside the RV. It really does. The windows will be covered with condensation, and I don't like that. But now electric heat, I leave the windows, all the windows, open about a quarter inch, about a quarter inch, so that I get a little ventilation, and that way that eliminates all of the condensation that forms from the human breathing and respiring, or whatever you want to call it, inside the RV. And for one person, it works great for me. I have no problem with condensation whatsoever in Central Texas, where I am right now. And when I go camping, I usually go out west where it's even drier, so I just don't have that problem. So anyway, this is Park Road 4. There's a guy parked in the road almost, but he has his emergency flashers on, so that makes it okay, I guess. So here we go, loop-de-loop. So what else did I learn today? I love this weather, man. See, the sun's coming out. It'll be partly cloudy today and cool and all that, and I'll bundle up probably if the wind dies down a little bit and go walking. I went walking at HEB, the grocery store, and then I did some more at Walmart, so I probably walked for an hour, a little more maybe, done my stretches. But these are days that when you get inside of your casita, it is really cozy, man. I mean, it is just too cozy. And I've got me a comforter and all that stuff. And with my little Pelonis heater on, which is about 10 inches high and 4 inches thick, and maybe 10 inches wide, just a little bitty electric heater, and put it on the lowest setting, and it'll just keep that. It actually has a thermostat too, and it works fairly good. It's about a 4-degree thermostat. In other words, once it gets 4 degrees below the temperature you've got it set on, it'll cut on, and then gets 4 degrees above, it'll cut off. I think that's how it works. But anyway, it works okay. It's tolerable. Let me say that. In Texas, we would say it's tolerable. Or I say it wherever I am, no matter where. If I have actually said this in Mongolia, where I was froze to death. Very cold in Mongolia, folks. Very cold. Very cold. So what else, guys? It's been about 11 minutes into the video, and by now I've lost 99% of the audience. I'm talking myself. It's true, and it's amazing. The average viewing length, if you just took all the YouTube videos and put them in a hat, shook them up, and then checked the average viewing length for all of it, it's about 3 to 4 minutes. That's it. The audience is gone after that. So does that bother me? Not one little bit. That's the way it is. So what's my long-term plan now? Well, for me at 73 to have a long-term plan could be a little foolish. I mean, I might want to stick with short-term plans. But yeah, my plan right now, as long as I got my health, will stick with the RVing. But at some point, when I come to the conclusion that I just ain't safe anymore, or I'm not, this ain't working, then what I will do is probably either give the RV to my son, or sell it and get me a little storage building and put it under my cover. Get me I think I'm going to get a 10 by 12. Could get a 10 by 14, maybe. Give me 140 square feet, which is about twice what I have right now. And just minimize it. Just fix it up with a nice shower. I may even get a bathtub. That would be a good thought. In fact, that might be another video. I'd talk about that, because yeah, I could do that and get since I don't use the black water, I just pee in the toilet and I poop in a plastic bag. I don't have to worry about that. I could get a toilet that just run a pipe out on the ground for the urine stuff, and that would work okay. And as far as water, I've got water hookup. So yeah, I could get by. Yeah, I could have me a little kitchen sink and stuff. And since I've got electric, I don't have to worry about that. But I could do it. I could probably do it. I don't know if I will do it. But for those kinds of things, I might be able to do that myself. Oh, it would be a disaster, so I probably won't. But because running electrical wires and stuff, you kind of got to know what you're doing. It would help. And I'd be guessing, and then one day I'd come home and the house would be a pile of ashes under the cover. But it's 47 top-up degrees here, guys. Wind out of the northeast in Central Texas, and I'll end this video at just around these curves here. We're getting close to Longhorn Cavern State Park. Again, this is Park Road 4 in Central Texas. It goes by Longhorn Cavern State Park. It also goes by Inks Lake State Park. There's no camping at Longhorn Cavern State Park. You can go there and see the cave and have a picnic and walk on some trails, and that's it. However, at Inks Lake State Park, if you can get a reservation, because they're usually pretty busy, it's a nice little park. But all Texas parks, in my opinion, are a little pricey. I mean, you know, because you got to pay an entry fee if you don't have their pass of around $5, plus the fee for camping from anywhere from $25 to $30. So yeah, you know, the Motel 6 starts to look pretty good. But I don't like to stay in motels anyway. So here we go. Let me end the video here, guys. Well, we'll go on a minute, because there's a nice view coming up here where we kind of go over the mountain, the quote mountain. It's not much of a mountain, it's just a hill actually. But they call, in this area, they call it the mountain. So we'll do that. And I realize the video's a little dark because we got a lot of cloud cover, and that's the way that goes with heroes and friends. This is a pretty drive on Park Road for a lot of people on the weekends from Austin, San Antonio, and Houston. Come up here on their motorcycles and zip around this old curvy road. There's also a roadside park up here on the left, a rest area that is really scenic. It has some pretty views out over the Texas Hill Country. So if you're on Park Road 4, look for it. Pull in there and have you a picnic. As long as you got your health, you know, I want to tell you this too. I know we got 2 people left, maybe one now. But when the Medicare thing that I did, that was just a spur of the moment video, like most of mine are. But you know, we got a lot of information on that video. The people that left comments were very helpful, and for anybody that's getting close to Medicare, you know, being able to get Medicare, they might want to review the comments on that video, because there's lots of good info on there, lots. You know, that enrollment period deal, that sucks. Why do they do stuff like that? And then, you know, part A and B and D equals part C. I mean, if you tried to make it any more complicated, you couldn't have done it. Anyway, this is the hill that I've been waiting on. We get to the bottom of this, I'll end it. But see those little hills out there? It's Texas Hill Country, folks, and that's why I live here. Beautiful, rolling hills all around, even though you can't see it too well in the video because I don't have it zoomed any. And if I try to zoom it now, we might be out in the hills, so to speak. Best thing for me to do is concentrate on my driving. I like days like this. These are good days for, you know, reading a book and, you know, just chilling out. I used my Instapot the other day, and I've got some food cooked and stuff in the freezer, and life is good, babe. Got plenty of beer, plenty of wine, plenty of food. What else could I ask for? So anyway, guys, from Central Texas, USA, this is Rusty78609 saying thumbs up, carpe diem, adios, bye-bye. Buy anything your heart desires, but if you think about it, use the link to Amazon products in all of my videos. Why? Because I get a small commission, and it does not cost you 1 penny. What else? Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. It's good for you. It'll help you avoid gout, kidney stones, and it will also help you lose weight because you'll be full of water and you won't want to snack. What else? Take deep breaths. Breathe in really deep, hold it for a few seconds, and breathe out slowly. Why? Because that lowers stress, which lowers your blood pressure, and that is excellent for you. What else? Stretch, 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 walk, walk. I've done that today, and you should too. What else? Stand guard at the door of your mind. Don't let negative Nancy or negative Ned get inside of your head. That's a fact. And with that in mind, accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, and enjoy your life, guys. Adios from Central Texas.